All right, this is Bluegrass Sports Nation. We're here live after tonight's first semifinal game of the 2022 14th Region Tournament. The Estill County Engineers are headed to the championship game, 93-87, in a great game here over the Cordia Lions. We have with us now for the Engineers, Coach Brian Hall, Will Isford, Bryce Willis, Dustin Beeler, Kenny Rose, and Cade Benton. Coach, if you take just a moment there, tell us your thoughts on this wild and woolly game out there that you guys pulled out.
Well, just sort of the topic we were talking about before we went on air. It was back and forth most of the night. I really took a big chance. You know, in a lot of ways, if I'm critical of myself, they went on a really good run at the end of the third, and I could see we were panicked a little bit, and I should have called timeout pretty early in that run, and then it got closer to the end of the quarter. And I decided to let them go because I knew that we would need all those timeouts that we had left. And I would like to have got that back. But these kids, when they got down, we went to one of our half-court traps that, they've really done a good job whenever they played it this year. We really don't practice it enough. In fact, I thought on my way today, I wish we'd have worked on that half-court trap yesterday. But to these kids' credit, man, it looked as if that's all we worked on the whole day. They just played their hearts out. And I'm just proud to be sitting here with them.
Well, we see that, and everybody that watched today on all the networks that are all the streams that did this, was how athletic the Cordia is. And you guys master athleticism today and their toughness. So talk about that just a little bit.
We just decided, we knew coming in that they were athletic and they like to play fast, but really our philosophy was just go be you, let's be us. We like to play fast too. And there's a difference between playing fast and out of control. Sometimes their pressure made us a little bit out of control. But when we were able to settle in and, let the ball travel through the path of least resistance and share the ball and pass ahead, these kids, their unselfishness then shines. And they made the extra pass. And I've never in my life seen Cade Benton throw behind the back pass, not even not in open gym, not in a scrimmage game, not in a game December 4th, but his behind the back pass, even myself and all the pressure, all I could think about was just thinking all of it. And I think he completed that one to Will. And then Dustin, I think it was Dustin who got a tip off a free throw. I've been yelling at him the whole day, why are you guys not lining up on the foul line? And it was one time I did not want them to line up. But they can't hear anyway. It's so loud. So they lined up. You're always worried in that situation about getting a foul called or over the back. But I don't know if it was Bryce at the line or not. He'd hit a bunch of free throws. And if it were him, maybe the only one he missed, the ball just traveled a path into the air, and Dustin made a nice tip in. And that one really sealed the deal.
Was you guys go in great first half. You guys go in the half at 42-42. Talk about what adjustments you made there at halftime.
Yeah, we were pleased with how we played offensively. We pretty well spent the whole half, though, talking about how can we stop them and their firepower. Man, you don't realize until you're on the floor with somebody just how talented they are. I knew coming into the game they were well coached. They were really talented, but going toe-to-toe in the first half, you realize it's not just one player either. Anybody they put on the floor can score, and we were able to see that. And we had to try to figure out a way to make adjustments in our zone. I don't know that we ever really did solve the issue. I mean, we did give up 87. To their credit, they did a great job with their spacing, the way they moved the ball. They hit tough shot after tough shot. But in the end, these kids were, they've got a lot of heart about them. I tell everybody I love our team. I hope they see why it's like that every day.
Well, you go on a Cordia in the third quarter goes on a 22-13 run, and you head to the fourth quarter down 64-55. Miscounted that a second ago. So it was 64-55, and you outscore them down the stretch 38-23. You put up 38 points in a high school basketball quarter. So talk about what happened in that fourth quarter. It was wild out there. And I'll say this, we'll talk about the environment here in a minute in this place, but let's talk about your thoughts going down the fourth quarter there, putting up that many points.
The big part of it was our spacing got better. We did a better job of taking better care of the basketball. we started meeting passes again, and the kids got such good spacing when we were able to advance the ball. We had, I like to say, we got there the fastest with the mostest, and what I mean by that is, our spacing was to the point where when we did, like for instance, pass the ball down into a corner, we had a guy rim running, and the kids just made the right decisions. You would want to put your thumb over what a team does and do everything from step A to step B to step C. But with these kids, it's taken a season for us, but what we've done is just create an environment where they go make plays, and they did today, to these kids' credit. And Concordia would not go away either. I mean, it was almost like I don't know if it was like an NBA game. It was almost a score, but it was definitely like the old D League or G League game. It was up and down the floor. It was an exciting game, I would say, to watch. I felt pretty calm throughout the game. And there were moments even during the game, there is pressure in games. There was moments when I just enjoyed watching both teams play. And here I was sitting on the bench, with Estill, and I'm watching Concordia play. They were fun to watch, and I think our kids were fun to watch too.
Yeah, it was sure great from under the basket on the baseline, I can tell you. But Will Isford, 43 here tonight, man. Every time I looked up, I don't know how many pictures I've got at you at the rim, but there's a ton. Man, talk about your night here tonight, 43 points.
Yes, sir. I give all glory to God. All my teammates, they told me before the game, this is your game. Go out and do your thing. They put all their faith and trust into me, just like I do them. And I started off the game, making buckets, and I knew I was going to be hot. My teammates kept finding me and feeding me, and I was just putting the ball in the hole.
Well, talk about the challenge. I mean, Concordia was aggressive. It was shot for shot a lot of times. I mean, Nas was taking it to the basket, and you were taking it right back. Man, it was a great energy out there.
Yes, sir. They're a really physical team, and they were getting up in me, and I was just finding opportunities to get to the rim. And coach and them talked about the whole time the game plan is they're athletic and physical. We got to do the little things, and we got to be physical with them. And I came out and tried to match their intensity and physicality, and I did my thing.
Well, Bryce, if you take that microphone on down, you ended up with 20 here tonight, man. Great performance. Hit those 4 in a row to turn this thing around. I think Concordia was maybe up 2 when that happened, and you knocked down 4 in a row got the ball back. So you guys were just unbelievable down the stretch at the free throw line. But talk about your game tonight, man.
My teammates, they give me the ball every time. Come down, bringing it up. I'm the point guard up, trying to feed everybody the ball. But I was getting open a lot of times. They weren't trying to guard me at all. And Will going to the paint and just fundamentals, like you said, getting him the ball and going off him, cutting, or Caden getting the ball on the wing and letting him do his thing, and just they would collapse and toss it out. And then at the end, when the kid got a technical, the coaches put their trust on me, and I stepped up and knocked him down to put us there.
Dustin, big put back there at the end, but you ended up with 9 but 11 boards. And that one was the game sealer, really, on the missed free throw. And Coach Hall just talked about that. Talk about your game tonight, my man.
Like game 1, we had Cade with 36, and now we have a man with 43. Like, we can score in bunches, like any of us. I give all glory to God, and Kenny helping me rebound. I mean, I can't do it without him. He's the main reason I rebound, because he seals another man, and Bryce knocking down threes. Coach Hall running plays for us. We just got it all.
Kenny, 10 and 7, man. You put up 10 and 7 rebounds, is just like Dustin just said. Talk about your game tonight, man.
I got in foul trouble in the first quarter and the second quarter, so I didn't play much the first half. These boys had my back and kept right there, and I came back in the third quarter, got another quick foul, set out for a minute, and they still had my back. And then I came in the fourth quarter, and we all played as a team, and led to 38.
Cade, tell us about that behind-the-back pass, man. What brought that on?
Sorry. I just want to give all glory to God, my teammates, without them. I mean, none of this is possible. Without God, none of this is possible. And I knew Will was going to make it, so I had to give it to him.
Well, man, you were unconscious the other night. You didn't have to score as much tonight. Will took up that slack, but great performance. Talk about how the game played out for you out there tonight.
Will got started early, and I just knew that he was going to have a good night, so I was trying to get him the ball as much as possible. He had my back, Headed back the other night, yeah, Monday night.
You guys have played two of the best basketball games I've seen. I mean, the 14th region tournament's always wild. But Brian, if you could pull that up there and let's talk a little bit about, there's a lot of talk right now about wanting a big arena to have these games in. And here in the 14th, the 15th, 13th, all these regions around go to UPike, they go to Corbin Arena and stuff, and there's a lot of complaints about that because it's not intimate. You can't beat the atmosphere that was in here tonight. The Estill County Engineer fans were out here in force with that band blowing this place out, and the sound echoing here in the Coliseum. I don't think you can find a better venue, but here in the 14th, that you get those wild venues like here in John C. Combs Arena and down at Powell County and stuff. Talk about the atmosphere out there tonight.
Well, as you know, I grew up in the 15th region, and they don't do that. And that's one of the reasons I love the 14th region. Estill's my home. And I'm a 14th region guy, and a lot of it's because of that. This atmosphere today, this Coliseum, anybody who was in attendance. I saw a few people who didn't come the other night. And some of the guys I work with, I saw some of the teachers here, and I know when they heard us try to describe what it was like, I know they had no idea, couldn't comprehend it. It was so loud, and these boys give me credit for offenses. It was so loud, they couldn't hear any offense. We just got good spacing, and these kids made really some big-time plays in big-time situations. But I want to thank the people here in Breathitt County for this venue is just a perfect setting for the region tournament. And today is odd. I think today's the first time I've ever played or coached on a Sunday. There was moments you would have thought it was a Friday night at 7:30 p.m.
Yeah.
This crowd, the roar when Kay made that behind the back pass, the roar, it was so loud it was deafening. I mean, literally, I think if I screamed at the top of my lungs, not only could anybody hear it, I couldn't hear it either. It's just the sound, the acoustics here, it just vibrates. It back and forth. It vibrates, I guess, back and forth off the beautiful wooden roof. And, I recommend anybody who's never been here to watch a game. I hope they'll get to do that at least once in their lifetime.
Yeah, we get comments all the time about people that see it in pictures and stuff and say that must be a wild place. Well, you guys have made it wild 2 straight nights. You don't do anything easy, the Estill County Engineers don't. 2 well of a ball games. You guys are headed to the 14th Region Finals. You're going to get either Breathitt or Perry Central and what should be a dandy coming up, Coach. So what's your thoughts about heading to the finals?
First of all, we're happy that we're going to the final. You're right, it's going to be a really good game coming up here at 6 o'clock, and I'm going to be able to enjoy it as a fan. I think it can go either way. I have no idea who will come out on top of that one. It's a toss-up. They both are really good teams. I'll watch, enjoy the game, and once the game's over, these boys, I guess we'll all watch the game. We'll try to find something to eat, and whoever wins the game, we'll go back to doing what we normally do. We'll watch the game film and set up a game plan for what we're going to do against them and get back in the gym and work on what we do.
Well, we'll see you Tuesday night. The engine moves on down the track. The Engineers are headed to the finals, 93-87 over Cordia. Congratulations, guys.
Thank you, Brenda.